Hello everyone, my name is Pooja Rani and I'm a final year PhD student at University of Bern, Switzerland. So today I'm going to talk about our study, do comments follow commenting conventions or not? So as we know that developers write code comments to express the overview of their code or to describe the rationale behind their code, studies have shown that these comments help developers understand the code and maintain the code. But comments are written in natural language and they do not have strict conventions to write comments. This might create problem if developers follow their own style, then it might possible that a project have very inconsistent style in writing comments. Therefore, coding style guidelines provide suggestions to write informative and consistent comments. For example, here Oracle guidelines suggest that hey, in a first sentence should summarize the class for class comment. Also, they tell that you should use phrases instead of complete sentences and prefer third person instead of second person. However, to what extent developers follow these guidelines in their comment? How do we know that if this comment follows the guideline or not? For example, this particular comment follow the given guidelines. Now, in our previous work, we investigated this aspect for Smalltalk comments. We found that developers follow specific type of guidelines in their class comments, such as what content to write in class comment and in which style it is to write. However, the study was limited to Smalltalk and other popular languages were not investigated, such as Java or Python. In the following study, we explored Java and Python class comments to see what developers write in them, but we did not compare them against the style guideline. So, based on methodology and data set from these studies, we answered the questions: do developers follow commenting guidelines for Java and Python comments? We adopted the data set of Java and Python class comments from the previous work. And then we developed the methodology as follows. So for each project from Java or Python, we identified the style guidelines that project follow. Then we also identified the comment related conventions from these guidelines. We then created a taxonomy of rule types and validated the class comments against the rules. How we did it? For example, for projects, we found that projects often refer to the few standard style guidelines. For example, for Java, we found that projects often follow Oracle and Google as a base, as a standard guideline. And then for Python, we found three main guidelines. Now, to extract the comment conventions, we scanned the whole guideline and identified the parts of the guideline which talks about comments. Then we identified the lines or a part of a line and converted them into rules. Now these rules, we categorize them into a taxonomy to see what kind of rules these style guidelines often give. For example, here we found content, formatting rules mainly. So content category shows the rules about what content to write in comments, whereas formatting refers to how to format the comments. Now, based on this taxonomy, what we found is that the majority of the style guidelines propose more content-related conventions than other type of conventions, but these content conventions are not easy to locate in the style guideline, and they do not always match developer commenting practices. Then we analyze if developers follow these conventions or rules or not in their comments, and we found that in Python developers violate rules more compared to Java, but we also found that there were many rules which were not applicable on comments due to developers' low adoption rate. For example, the Oracle style guidelines suggest to write a summary in the first line of a comment, and then summary should be written using phrases. Now, if a comment does not have a summary, the first rule is violated, but other rules are not applicable because there is no summary to validate if it's a phrase or a complete sentence, or if it's written in third person instead of second person. In terms of applicable rules, we found that our results complement the previous work. Comments follow content and writing style conventions more often and violate structure conventions often. As a future work for our study is to verify our results on other types of comment, for example, method comments, inline comments, and also to validate them for other languages, for example, C++, JavaScript. Then our study also highlighted the severe need to have a tool which can automatically extract the guidelines, comment-related guidelines from the style guideline and can validate the comment against these guidelines. This can overall help improving the comment quality assessment approaches. Thank you very much for listening. The preprint for our study is available on arXiv and replication package is available at Zendo. Thank you.